It may well have been not by design, Sean. It was the only thing that they had as an option. And they wanted to make a statement as well, I think, to hit back after the team dominance that we've seen from UE Team Emirates. Visma Leasebike wanted basically to do the same, I think. Punch and counter-punch, for goodness sake. But it just did not work for them. I think the element that was missing was probably Sepp Kuss, a man who fell ill, I'm afraid, during the Dauphiné. Vingegaard himself said, of course, we miss him, but we've got a great team around me. Well, that team today, Sean, I'm afraid, have just been burnt themselves down in the service of this man and for our entertainment. It's been glorious. But, as you say, maybe if they'd let the breakaway go, as you say, in hindsight as well, you just never know. If it had worked, we'd be singing this gloriously from the treetops, which we're now leaving behind.
Yes, well, if we had a different tactic, a different strategy from Visma Leasebike here, and just sit back, leave the breakaway, go away, because you know, the men in the breakaway in the GC, they were no danger whatsoever, and you know, keep your men in reserve for the final, and that means, you know, maybe 60, 70 kilometres out. Start using the riders we see much earlier in the day, like a Benoot, like a Saknik, Van Aert, all of those guys. And then in the final, use the better climbers and try and take their leader further up this final climb, and then see can you do the damage in the final 5 or 6 kilometres. But Vingegaard had to take it up so early. It was always going to be a difficult one against this man. When you look at the way he was riding yesterday, but they had a plan to you know, to put in action here today, and they went out and done it, but it hasn't worked out for them, and they're just going to lose more time, as we see 37 seconds to this man.
The air fetty goes off. They are indeed, the crowd, hyper animated, and well as they might be. They're seeing a man here in Tadej Pogacar with a 36-second margin for the time being over Jonas Vingegaard. He's put over 2 minutes already into Remco Evenepoel, himself a fantastic rider. And indeed, the rest of everybody else has been put to the sword by Tadej Pogacar. He's in the mood, Sean.
Well, he's in the mood, and he has to be in the mood. You know, this is the D-Day, as yesterday was also the days when you have to be able to produce the performance. The terrain presents itself, and my God, the terrain has, you know, tested everybody here today after a very difficult day yesterday. And it's this man who is, you know, standing up to it and, you know, taking the race, you know, in his fists and just grabbing the opportunity here and, you know, making bigger advantage back to the man who was chasing and Vingegaard here, going out to 40 seconds at the moment.
And these are his people. Fabulous. Well, King of the Hill. The man wearing the King of the Mountains sits at 42 seconds. Remco Evenepoel at 2 minutes and 10. Mikkel Landa, nearest man to Evenepoel, is at 3 minutes and 5. And in betting parlance, horse racing parlance, it's bar those. My goodness, what a bar, Sean. He's raised it again.
Yes, well, he is proven to be the best man of the two big challengers here, and you can see, you know, he's just pulling out the advantage of this man, and it looks like it's going to be a huge time loss.
Well, good news for Mark Cavendish and all fans of those who are suffering today. They have just started the climb, so add 16 minutes to the Mark Cavendish deficit. We'll get back to that in a few moments' time. Meanwhile, this man is bringing it all home here. Vingegaard at 45 seconds, 3/4 of a minute down. Sean, that is a wound that's almost too much to bear.
Well, it is going to be a big one, considering that Vingegaard started out this morning in the GC at 1:57. It's going to be another minute at least here for the man defending the champion here, and we can see Vingegaard, you know, he is suffering, and you know, he's just going to try and get into the finish here in the final 1,200 metres, 1,100 metres as quickly as possible, but the time loss is going to be a big one here. And yeah, you know, looking at the earlier part of the day, we were wondering Visma Leasebike, the way they were controlling the race, the way they were making it difficult, was the defending champion be able to pull something out of the bag, but it hasn't been the case against this man. He is, you know, the dominant man of the day on this real difficult stage here in the Pyrenees.
Let me just tell you, Mark Cavendish, Gruppetto at 36 minutes down. If it takes them, if they lose another 16 minutes on the climb, it'll put them at 51 minutes. That is very touch and go. Meanwhile, let us dwell on this man. He is now up amongst the blue sky here. And more than that, he has taken flight. This day, a difficult day. Some say the most difficult of this entire Tour de France. It's self-billed as one of the most difficult in memory. Well, yesterday was an uphill finish, an amazing one to Saint-Lary. Pogacar took that ahead of Jonas Vingegaard. He's going to take this ahead of the very same man. 1, 2, possibly 1, 2, 3 today, exactly the same as it was yesterday. But the margins are absolutely enormous. And you can give margin none of that to this man. He is phenomenal. You can't cut him any slack because he will just cut you down. Today, it was a magnificent effort by Jonas Vingegaard and Visma Lease Bike to try and put him to the test. He passed it with flying colours. He will be wearing a gold stage medal, and of course he'll be turning yellow to gold in this most amazing piece of climbing alchemy. He is in charge of this race. Tadej Pogacar, has he just won the Tour? No, but he's taken a massive step towards doing precisely that. He's going to bring this home like it is his home. He owns the place, for goodness sake. Any peak, any time. It's mine. Wow. And the clock counts back, Sean, to Jonas Vingegaard. As brave as you like. A brave strategy today as well. His entire team were lined out for him, but the line had already been drawn in the sand by Tadej Pogacar, and he just couldn't step over it in the end. And we're going to find out by what margin he failed to do so.
Yes, well, it is going to be an enormous margin, and yeah, we can see this man again, another monster performance on this final climb. He did it yesterday. He took 39 seconds out of Vingegaard yesterday in a 10-kilometre climb. Today, of course, just that 16-kilometre climb, it is going to be over the minute here. And this man, he is after having a real difficult one to try to limit the losses here, and the losses are going to be big.
Absolutely enormous. Well, you saw him there just a few moments ago, Sean. Fatigue washing over him, just took a waddle towards the barriers. Thankfully just managed to hold on to the bars, and here it is, absolutely as you predicted it. It's over a minute, for goodness sake. Let's see the margin. 1 minute and 8, Sean. What a huge gap.